Hello, world. Welcome back to the channel. So, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach Part 2 is set to kick off in Las Vegas, and that's going to be August 16th of 2025. Of course, that is a couple months away. You might as well say it's 3 months away. Uh, hey, man, what can we see about this fight, or what can we start to articulate and predict about this fight, right? As you know, the last fight went all 12 rounds. It was a lot of controversy. Some people said that Tank won 7-5. Some people said that Lamont Roach won 7-5, right? Um, we're seeing Tank take a knee and said that it had sweat in his eyes and things of that nature. You see Lamont Roach, he took some of Tank's heaviest shots. I even though Lamont Roach said they didn't face him, I do believe some of them did face him. I just think that the point of attack, Tank didn't jump on him. And you can also say vice versa as well. Many people believe that the knockdown should have secured a victory for Lamont Roach. Me personally, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I seen Bayless start counting, and he stopped. But I just think that the type of star power that Gervonta Tank Davis has, he can get away with those type of things, right? I personally know Gervonta Tank Davis. I know his um, the mother of his child here in Atlanta. I've hung out with him and things of that nature. He's a good dude outside of boxing, right? And I know people are gonna have their own interpretations and things of that nature. Personally, looking back at the fight, that was the first time that I've seen Tank. Not, I wouldn't say focus, but it seemed like something was. It just seemed like something was off. And keep in mind, I've seen him spar heavyweights, cruiserweights, welterweights. Um, Guys his size and so forth and so on. Like I've been in the gym and seen him work on a numerous of different amount of occasions. I've seen him drop guys. I've seen him go toe to toe with guys. I've seen him dish it and people dish it right back. So I've seen all the spectrum of what Gervonta Tank Davis has. Um, and I'm still waiting on Gervonta Tank Davis to bring more out. More out because I do one thing that I do know that I've seen him do in sparring that he does have a big tool bag, and I've just yet to see him bring that out. I'm not sure what he's waiting on. I know it was his, I won't say first time, but as the lead chief head trainer, Barry Hunter in his corner, that was the first time that I seen Gervonta Tank Davis actually um, use someone else as head chief. I do know outside of Coach Kevin Cunningham, Barry Hunter was the other coach. But me personally, I do believe that Tank should, you know, go with Coach Kevin Cunningham. Number one, he's a southpaw specialist, right? He trains tons of southpaws. He has numerous, I want to say, two or three different world champions at southpaws. And he does great work with southpaws. And ultimately, if you look back at the Cuevas fight, I mean not Cuevas, but Cuellar fight, when Tank fought on, I think that was Adrian Broner card or Mayweather card. I can't remember which one, but I do know that that fight right there was probably the sharpest, quickest, fastest, quick twitch Tank that I've ever seen. And personally, I think that Tank should go to Coach Kevin Cunningham. Now, the only thing about that part is Coach Kevin Cunningham is definitely a drill sergeant. He doesn't take no crap for anyone, right? And I've personally had a chance to have conversations with him um, throughout over the years. Before it's been in the boxing game and meeting, greeting people, different people. He's definitely one of my guys that I always talk to every time I see him. So that's just my suggestion. I do know that Tank has been here in Atlanta. He has worked out, I believe, one or two times with my trainer as well, Coach Mustafa. But here it is, man. August 16th, they're getting ready to run it back. You know, they're getting ready to run it back. It's definitely going to be on PBC on Prime Video, pay per view, TGB promotions. Of course, they has a hold on the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for that date. I think the location is probably going to stay the same if I'm not mistaken. Gervonta Tank Davis, who was 30-0 with one draw, 28 knockouts. Lamont Roach was 25-1 and with two losses, 10 KOs. Um, and that's the thing. Like Lamont Roach, I understand. Like me watching boxing over the years is definitely grew to different variations of how to win a fight. But for as me growing up, I've always seen that a guy on the B side or who's going against the champion has to go and take the belt from the champion. I just don't think that Lamont Roach went to take the fight from the champion. I believe that he was in a close fight. Yes, I do. But to take the belt is a different story. Um, back in the days, you wasn't just coming and getting the belt just because you had a great fight. No, you had to take the belt. I mean, I just think that that's what boxing should get back to. Personally, um, that's just my thoughts. On that. July 19th is the date that's in play, of course, for Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao as well. So that could be on the undercard. Um, you also have David Benavidez who's out there. He has a targeted date for October or November coming up as well. Davis Roach, of course, like I said, there was definitely some controversy. The scores was 115, 113 for Davis, 114, 114, and 114, 114. Of course, that decision came to a draw. But it was a case made for Roach. You know, people think that it deserved the nod. Um, of course, the decision was not considered a robbery among objective observers, if you ask me, right? Roach felt pretty sure that he won. Um, Many Gervonta Tank Davis fans feel that Lamont Roach is, he's on a high rate. He's going on you know, uh, a world tour, a press conference tour, or a press tour, celebrating the draw. I don't think that Lamont Roach is happy with the draw, but he went the distance, and I believe that's by far the best fight that Gervonta Tank Davis has been in. Um, people criticize Tank about the Pit Bull fight. I don't think that fight was close at all. I actually thought Tank won that very easy. Thought he boxed the shit out of Pitbull Cruz. There hasn't been a fight to my knowledge, that I've seen where, Tank was just, looking like he didn't. I'm not gonna say want to be there, but as if it was super thin close, right? Pitbull to me wasn't close at all. But I believe when you fight a guy of a status like Gervonta Tank Davis and his superstardom, you go the distance, you don't get knocked out. That's to be commended by the public, right? By the vast majority of the public who don't know anything about boxing. They just know, oh, he didn't get knocked out, so he must be pretty good, right? I mean, because if you think about it, or even the guys who has got knocked out by Gervonta Tank Davis, those guys are all superstars. You look at Rolando Rollies, got knocked out by Tank. Guess what? I've seen him a couple weeks later, and he had a mob around him. Ryan Garcia, of course, he has his own fan base and things of that nature. He was, quit against Tank, and you know, um, and people, you know, was kind of happy that he fought Tank and he looked good for a big portion of the fight, right? Pitbull Cruz, he's now that's the person who's been on a tirade. Pitbull Cruz don't know any other name outside of Gervonta Tank Davis. You ask him about Shakur Stevenson, he say Gervonta Tank Davis. You ask him about Devin Haney, you ask him about Rolando Rowley, he gonna say Gervonta Tank Davis. So the only name Pitbull Cruz is Gervonta Tank Davis, and that's the person who's been on a high rate for the last 3-4 years. you know. But again, when you fight a guy like Gervonta Tank Davis, the notoriety across the world people are gonna know who you are. And I think that Lamont Roach, fell into that card hand and he played it well. And of course, he's winning right now. Every time I look up, he's on a different podcast, he's on a different show, um, and he's doing different interviews. So kudos for him. But one thing I must say about Lamont Roach is what people don't know. Lamont Roach, I know people talk about the four kings and things of that nature, right? In the sport of boxing, especially when all those guys was at 130, 135. Speaking of Devin, Shakur, Tank, and Teofimo Lopez, right? Lamont Roach was the first person to pop things off out of all of those guys. While he was still amateur, he signed a deal with Golden Boy. So he been getting paid, right? Lamont Roach is a risk taker. Even when I look to today, although I do see all the podcasts, I do see all the tweets and things of the nature, but he's still actively in the gym. Now, again, I told you guys that Tank was down here in Atlanta with my trainer, so he's been in the gym. I don't know if it's been consistently like Lamont Roach has, or maybe just Tank just giving his body some time to heal up. Or maybe Tank just really want to go, do some soul searching and things of the nature, because you heard Tank say, he's almost out the door with the sport of boxing, which I don't blame him, right? People are going to criticize Tank for wanting to leave the sport of boxing. I don't, because the whole objective is to get in and get out. People want to see him fight his contemporaries. Whether he do or don't, he's already beaten the first of the odds that was against him. He made it out. Now he's wealthy enough to do whatever he wants and live well off. So I completely understand. Right? But with that being said, man, I really want to see how this fight play out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to continue to build on the fight. I'm not going to continue to just build the one fan base. I'm going to continue to build two different fan bases. Again, Tank is my guy. Been knowing him for a while. I know his child's mother, the mother of his child. So he's a cool guy in my books, But I just want to talk about the fight. I think there's a lot of things that Lamont Roach can do. I think there's more things that Gervonta Tank Davis can do next. I want to see Gervonta Tank Davis really lock in, really lock in. I think he has been a little bit distracted his last two fights, 3 fights prior, probably. But I want to see what he does when he's very, very focused and he know what he got to do, right? But guys, you let me know what you think as we approach part 2 between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Tank Davis. I think that this is going to be a fan-friendly fight. I think both guys are going to come and trying to take rightfully so what's theirs. I know Lamont Roach, he's definitely not sitting well with the draw. And I don't think Tank is either. I just think that, Tank is not really a guy who like to be in the media. He's a shy guy, if you ask me, right? But I'm willing to bet that he's working his ass off and making the right decisions and paying dividends to get back out there and continue winning. But this is a good fight. Most people are going to have a 50-50. But guys, you let me know what you think. Make sure you hit the comment box and let me know what you think. With that being said, I'm out. Love, peace, happiness, and hello, world.
Before the paper, I knew they would say, and I knew by the looks on their faces. Niggas mad cause I did what they wouldn't do, say what I couldn't do. Look, bitch, I made it, I made it. Came a long way from the basement. Fighting on me, I ain't playing, y'all. These niggas ain't playing fair. If I would've known better, I'd do better. Took some mess and I learned from a new level. Bought some new shovels and some new stressors. And I'm ready for war like whoever. They counted me out, I can't count it all. Cause little nigga, I ball. I put them points on the board every time that I shoot, I'ma score, and you know I'm a dog. I'm really appalled, don't need no applause. I know I'm a legend, my name on the wall. First record with platinum, my second with gold. Did it independent, no deal at all. And they said it's impossible. Got them high cause I did them without them though. I'm the same nigga, slept on the carpet floor. Even back then I knew that I'd be poppin', so I really ain't trippin'. I swear I ain't trippin'. I got in my feelings and got me a million. Couple people I thought would be with me, but they not, so it's fuck all them niggas. And then you next.